We begin the news at 4 with your weather impact alert. Tropical Storm Debby is on the way to the DMV, and we want to make sure that you're prepared. Here's a live look at where the storm sits right now, just to our south. Wanted to give you a live look at the conditions. This is in Hickory, North Carolina from our Earth Cam, and you can see it is just socked in. It is gray, it is gloomy, and the rain is coming down. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Simone D'Alba.
And I'm Larry Miller. When our team issues a weather impact alert, that means dangerous and inconvenient weather is headed our way. The dangerous system for the next 24 hours will be Tropical Storm Debby.
Now, here are 3 things you need to know right now. As the system heads toward our area, there will be a threat of tornadoes. There will be a threat of flooding. And last, the severe weather is expected to hit the region overnight.
We have team coverage with your impact alert right now. Our Scott Broom is in Annapolis with how Maryland officials are getting ready for the storm. But let's check in first with the chief, Topper Shutt. Topper, you've been timing out Debby and its impact in our region hour by hour. When will we begin to see the remnants of it?
I think the way to really take your takeaway from this, Larry, is 10 p.m. tonight to 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's going to be the most critical time. And we mentioned that last night at 11, and Jonathan mentioned it this morning. All right, so here's the storm. As of 2 o'clock, it is about 55 miles east-southeast of Charlotte. It continues to move off to the north, and eventually it's going to pass to our west. That's very important. As soon as we saw that track to our west yesterday, we knew that it brought into the game plan the chance for severe weather. So by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, there it's going to be extratropical, but it's going to be even west of Winchester. So any point east of that, we run the risk of a feeder band with a couple of spin-up tornadoes embedded. So here's the radar right now. We've had some tropical downpours today, and that actually was associated with Debby. We had the heavy rain last night. That was not. That was associated with a front. I mean, some areas around Frederick and Leesburg, over 5 inches of rain. Martinsburg had 5 inches of rain. But now, this is the latest radar. We've got some heavy rain, heavy downpours around Leesburg, around the bypass, and also over toward Albany as you head over toward Fairfield. But let's kind of widen this out. So here's the radar. And there's your circulation right there, what's left of Debby. And again, these are the bands. And inside these bands will be heavy thunderstorms, and some kind of will spin up. So we've had flood warnings already with this band. Earlier, about 2:45, just southwest of Richmond, we did have a tornado warning. That is no longer in effect, but there's a tornado watch south of us, which includes Richmond. So they've expanded the flood watch a little more to the east. It includes Frederick County, western Loudoun, and also northern sections of Fauquier, which is actually kind of good. That's where the extreme drought is. That goes until 8 o'clock tonight. Some flooding right now in the lighter colors just north of Dover with that feeder band. Okay, so yes, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we issue weather impact alerts when there's nuisance weather and or life-threatening. It checks both boxes here. It's going to continue right on through Friday. That is the when. The impact, I've upped it a little bit, 2 to 5 inches of rain plus. Possible tornadoes and then flooding is looking more and more likely. Now, what you need to do, move your plans indoors, download the WSA 9 app, and because we're worried about nocturnal tornadoes, let us push you notifications that can wake you up in case you are sleeping tonight when some of the severe weather rolls through. Here's Futurecast. Here's 10 o'clock tonight. That's not a good-looking cell right there between Manassas and I-66. Everything pushes off to the north and the west. At 2 o'clock, plenty of heavy rain around I-81. By 4 o'clock, big storms possible in Montgomery County, Loudoun County. By morning, we're still looking at some showers at 6 o'clock, but there's still some heavy activity back to the west. By 8:30, some more showers through the metro, and then by 10 o'clock, heaviest activity now beginning to move off to the north and the west, or north and the east, and that's good. By 12 o'clock, just some light showers. Notice the winds here. See the arrows here westerly, arrows here southerly. The front's going to go through early in the afternoon on Friday, and that's going to spell a pretty good Friday afternoon. Couple leftover showers, but your Friday night plans, ironically enough, may be safe. Okay, we have this persistent east-southeast flow, and that is not a good sign for folks on the Bay, in the Annapolis area. And for more on that, here's Scott Broom. Scott.
Hey, Topper, how are you? Eco 9, yeah, we get around. We've been in Montgomery County today talking about some of the flood threats as folks there are getting prepared for the possibility flooding from some of these storms. We're in Annapolis right now where it's a different kind of flooding they're talking about. It is tidal flooding, with everybody is on alert here for. It's something they're used to dealing with, but it is developing in a classic scenario because of the way the wind is blowing associated with the remains of that tropical storm Debby. Let me take and show you some of the video. We're here at City Dock, Ego Alley. where the Annapolis Harbor comes into the city. The wind is blowing strong from the southeast. That's the flow associated with this storm, and that drives water up the Potomac and up the Chesapeake Bay, and that's what causes flooding here in places like Annapolis and also Alexandria and on some of the Potomac waterfront. Here in Annapolis, the police are alerting everyone and authorities as usual. They're likely going to close these parking lots down here around the harbor master's office for this evening. The signs are up and the sandbags are out in front of a lot of the local businesses here in anticipation of this potential for tidal flooding with the high tide periods. There's going to be a high tide tomorrow as that low pressure gets a whole lot closer to us and has some more strength. High tide tomorrow here at 9 a.m. Now, they got a pumping system here in Annapolis that is takes care of the parking lot here up to a certain level. I mean, at some point the tidal flooding could get so high that it will come around the raised seawalls here. At that point, a lot of the storefronts here, they're going to have to depend on sandbags and pumps inside their businesses. But the parking lot itself has pumps, and if the tidal flooding can stay below a certain level, it is likely that these pumps are going to be able to at least take care of the parking lot, although we've talked to at least one local business owner who is very concerned that all the pumps here are not working right now. So that's a wait and see here in Annapolis. We're with Eco 9. Earlier today, I mentioned we were in Montgomery County talking about automated flood alert devices. There are 35 spots around Montgomery County on streams that are likely to flood. We'll talk more about that when we come back at 5 o'clock this evening. But everyone throughout the region, whether you're inland, places like Montgomery and Frederick County, worried about flooding in streams and streets and storm drains, or whether you're closer to the coast or the tidal shorelines in places like Annapolis and Alexandria, all of the folks in these places are all on alert, as you suggest, Topper. Reporting live in Annapolis with Eco 9, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
You said it, Scott. A lot of business owners right where you're standing that are very nervous tonight. We'll check in with you later. Thank you. Well, storm prep also continues in Virginia today as the Commonwealth remains under a state of emergency. A little more than an hour ago, the city of Alexandria resumed their free sandbag giveaway. So those bags can be picked up until 7 tonight. This is at 133 Quaker Lane. Now, if you plan to stop by, it is important to know that there is a bag limit. 5 sandbags per person. Our crews talked with neighbors who showed up to today's giveaway, and they tell us dealing with floods is just something they're now used to.
Thank goodness, yes. I am a little bit up a hill, so we don't have any problems with flooding, thank goodness. I think it's just the price of admission for living near the water, so I just roll with the punches.
It is a really great time to download our free WUSA 9 app. So to get started, you're going to want to point your phone's camera at the QR code on your screen. Then tap the link, it's going to pop right up. And don't forget to then turn on the push notifications. This will be your best friend. This is really helpful and you won't miss any breaking news or weather impact alerts.